Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. We are doing a reaction video today. I am looking at anything you have tagged me in over on TikTok, Instagram, or sent me no messages. You can find me here on those social media platforms. Should you see anything online that you're like, someone needs to see this, whether it's good, whether it's bad, maybe you're unsure, do let me know. And as I always like to say in these videos, creativity and individuality have no rules, but makeup has a theory that is based in science. So I like to look at makeup advice that is given, questions that are asked, and give my expert professional opinion on these videos. All right, let's just get straight into it with our first video. I get sent a lot of these posts because there are some things that are like, okay, well, yes, a powder is going to mattify, of course, but I mean, yeah, when you put powder on top of basically a wet face, it's going to mattify and look incredibly smooth on camera. That's just how light works, you know? Areas that are shiny are going to look more textured. Areas that are matte look less textured. But do you remember lighting, right? In front of a camera, on stage perhaps, if you are in a constant lighting situation, then yes, everything's going to look nice and smooth and even. But I mean, my makeup when I'm like this is going to look different to when I step outside because it's different lighting. It's going to look different when I step into my bathroom because it's different lighting. So although it may look smooth and flat face on with lights perfectly shining on the face, do you remember that once you remove those lights, turn them off, turn them down, step into a different hue of lighting, that not everything is going to look completely smooth. Powder mattifies, that's a fact. And matte surfaces tend to absorb more light so you don't see as much detail. But remember, texture, depth and height still exist in real life. Okay, I love this. What a great video to have straight after that thingy one, because this is such a good point of what I'm saying, right? Like here we can see her face. This lip is beautiful. Here her line is beautiful too. Sorry, the blush is really nice. So here we can see she has these incredibly beautifully smooth under eyes, right? Because she's in perfect lighting. Perhaps she's used a powder underneath. But what she's showing here as well is that when you go into any different kind of lighting situation, that area of texture is going to change. This is a great video. I'm going to save this for different times. So again, look at how different that looks to here. Look how different this looks to the first one. You see what I mean? So yes, if you're in one lighting situation, a controlled lighting situation, everything looks great, smooth, even. And even her skin looks really, really smooth there with powder. And she's got great skin in general anyway. But you can go here, you can see a bit more texture on the skin. It's just lighting. And she has great skin. So let's not fool ourselves that, you know, everything looks as good as it does online.
Makeup tips for over 35s. Now, this side of the face isn't bad, but this is better. Tip number 1, don't use a founder that's lighter than your actual skin tone. Do use a founder that's either your skin tone or a shade darker, or in my case, like...
Let me just interrupt this. I'm 37. I wouldn't take this advice. So when people give you advice of being over, that's not to say she's wrong. I haven't even listened to what she said yet. Don't take advice just because you are over that age and you think, oh shit, now I need to act like, now I need to do my makeup this way because everyone's skin is different. Remember that.
6 shades darker. Now I've used the exact same products on either side of my face, just in different tones, and they are all in the notes below. 22 years of being a professional makeup artist, that when you take colour away, it equals death and aging. Add colour and warmth and it equals life. And
I completely agree. I loved sometimes on myself to do like a paler base because I like to look like I'm dying. So if I want to look like casket beauty, then I will go do a pale shade of my face because it does suck the life out of you when it's not your natural skin tone. You can kind of tell when somebody's wearing a lighter foundation. If you are naturally fair, then that's just your skin tone and everything matches, you know? Personally, I will never shade match someone incorrectly unless they ask me to go darker. So even if they are a little bit older, I will match to their shade. But just like she's saying, I will add warmth and I will add depth and light. A lot of people think with mature, I'm doing quotes here, skin, because 35 is not mature, the trick to making yourself look younger is stretching and no wrinkles and all this kind of stuff, whereas the actual kind of trick, the hack, is adding a glow to the skin, adding life, as we call it, to the skin, because unfortunately it's said that your skin loses, you know, the elasticity, the glow. It's not about covering up mature signs of mature skin, it's about enhancing the glow to the skin. And yeah.
Don't bring the tail of your brows down. Do you see how this drags down my face? Do bring them out towards your temple and elongate.
Yeah.
Avoid shimmery eyeshadows, especially in the crease. Shimmer clings to wrinkles and it's really hard to move once you put it on your face.
I disagree with kind of like saying that people of a certain age can't use shimmer on their eyelids, because I know loads of people do. I think there's a way to apply it, and like she said, not taking it up past the crease, that makes it look good. You can do it. There's always a way to do something.
Use matte neutrals. See how the matte eyeshadows creates a smoother texture. Now I like to bring it up all the way, almost to the eyebrow and out. Remember, we want to elongate and bring up. Don't do thick, dark eyeliner all the way around the eye. See how it just looks circle and beady? Do a thinner, more elongated line. I now use brown and I smudge it out. And I don't go all the way to the corner.
Yeah, if you go all the way into the corner, it really closes that up. Especially if you have like a hooded eye, it's nice to keep that center open.
And instead of using eyeliner underneath the eye, I now just use eyeshadow, like a neutral tone, and just bring it under like that. Don't overpowder the face. It'll just grab onto the lines. Do just stick to the T-zone. Do a little bit in here. And I prefer to use a brush. See how we're still glowy?
Beautiful. And again, it's like keeping that glow and that shine to the skin.
Don't do this with contour. Don't place it under the bone. It will just drag you down. Instead, place contour on the cheekbone. That way you're not dragging down your face and aging it.
Look how beautiful and glowy this is. How open these areas of the eye are. This whole area is open. This whole area is open. And then you look at like this area, it's a closed area. You know what I mean? Like it's very, yeah.
Cheeks. Because look what happens when I relax. It's down here. Place blush.
Say that again, say that again, say that again, say that again.
Aging it. Don't put blush on the apples of your cheeks.
Especially when you're doing this.
Because look what happens when I relax.
Drags it down.
It's down here. Place blush just above the contour. Now it feels weird. It feels like you're putting it in your eye.
That's for everyone. Everyone do that.
Because you kind of are. Now if you come past the pupil, you've gone too far. Lips. Don't underline and bring all the way to the corners. Do overline, concentrating on the center of the lips. And don't bring it all the way to the corners. See how they're fuller and plumper on this side? Now, there's nothing actually wrong with this side of the face. If you're doing this and it's working for you, knock yourself out. But do you see how this side of the face is warmer, glowier, everything is elongated and coming up? I'm a 40-year-old woman and I've been a professional makeup artist for the last 22 years. These are just my tips. They're not rules. Take what you want, throw out the rest.
Exactly.
Ah, what a great way to say that. Take what you want, throw out the rest, yeah. Is there anyone out there who always needs a mirror to retouch up their lips? You can just feel where your lips are. Why would that be a thing? You can literally feel where your lips are. And if you're using a neutral color, especially, what the fuck is this? Who looks at that and is like, oh my god, I'm good. Okay, whatever.
For 18 years, I made foundation in Korea. Then I moved here and watched American women waste thousands on products I knew would fail them, and I stayed silent until now.
Wait, why did you stay silent?
Honestly, I thought no one would listen. But you know what's crazy? My mother is 62 and her foundation still looks flawless.
Okay, let's stop that there. I was actually sent this, and I just wanted to include this because I want you to see. Could you tell that was AI? Everything about this is AI. The voices, the people in the video is AI. You can, and I just want you to be really aware, because when you actually click on this website and go to this brand, it's a brand I've never heard of. The product looks terrible. It's all done with AI. I mean, who talks in that cadence anyway? You know what I mean? No one talks naturally like that. But also, the mouth isn't in time, especially with the host. When she says something.
Now.
Wait, why did you stay silent?
Honestly, I thought no one would
It's just
listen.
very slightly off. And one thing I want you to look out for when it's AI people is the line in their mouth. There's something that happens in their teeth. There's always like this interruption in the teeth. It's like AI hasn't quite mastered mouths just yet. The mouths look separate from the person.
She showed me this bottle of color changing foundation. Now, 18 years in formulation, I always check ingredients. It's just automatic at this point.
Yeah.
And when I read the label, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
What did you see?
pH React did it.
Did you try it yourself?
Yes, I had to test.
It's just very, very unnatural. It's very, very unnatural. It's just all very unnatural. And I want you to listen to the audio as well. There's no background noise. So if you've ever done like anything in audio, there's like this thing called like room noise. And it could be something like a slight hum. It could be an air conditioner. You know, there's just noise in general. The world is not completely silent. And you can remove background noise from audio. But when somebody is making artificial voices, it doesn't create artificial background noise or artificial background hum or artificial background air, right? It just is flat. So that was a very obvious AI ad with clips of real people. Whether or not that comes from a real interview and the mouths have been put on top, but that is what people can create with AI.
We have water-based foundation, we have silicone-based foundation, we have skin tint, and we have CC creams. But what would work on you? The water-based foundation, obviously, the first ingredient is water. The second is pigment. When you blend it in, the pigments burst around. So what this doesn't have is silicone. Water-based foundations are super breathable, but because they don't have silicone, they are not pore filling. So what it will do is it'll even out your skin tone while it being very water and thin based. Typically, if someone is over 40, I love this because there's no need to set this. However, it won't blur your skin. On the opposite, a silicone-based foundation really blurs out your pores. This works perfectly if you want long wear foundation. So if you have oily skin in a water-based foundation don't perform well. But if you have oily skin, a silicone-based foundation, oily skin, oil and oil work well, oil and water do not.
Okay, let's just touch on this. And again, this is something I have spoken to many, many professional makeup artists about who have been in the industry for years and years and years and years and years, longer than social media has been around. When this became a trend to talk about on social media, the bases of skin and primers and foundations and all this kind of stuff to talk about, I asked many professional makeup artists, I was like, is this something you have ever considered when you're doing your client's makeup? To a point where you have found it has affected your client's makeup? Everyone said no. Everyone said no. Because, yes, it's a science, right? Certain bases don't mix. But there are ways to use products on everyone of any type. What she's saying is true to an extent, right? The recommendations, but there is a way to wear everything. trust. I wear everything and I'm the oiliest person ever. I love water-based foundations. I love silicone-based foundations. I love every kind of base foundation. It depends on my skin prep and what I'm doing. But this is great general advice in general. One thing I would say about silicone-based foundations is I actually don't like them for oily skin. They are really aimed at oily skins, and I hate them on oily skins. They tend to be matter. And matte foundations on oily skins, again, although they're like, it's great, they get interrupted a little bit more because they're matte, but your skin's oily, so it's gonna become greasy. It's gonna look greasy. They tend to oxidize quicker. I actually don't like them for oily skins. But again, what she's saying is right. Brands will recommend all these foundations for oily skin, and I just don't like them.
With cold and dry climates, water-based works really nice. With warm and humid weather, silicone-based performs the best. Okay, well, what is a CC cream? CC stands for color correcting. A CC cream has a lot of pigment. Green undertones, lavender, peach. So if you're very pink, you may have rosacea. You may have dark spots around your mouth, under your eyes. These ones, depending on the undertone that you pick, will cancel out that color because the main ingredient is pigment. CC creams also usually have skincare benefits. So they'll put in something like an SPF. Typically, you'll see an SPF 45, a 50, different skincare ingredients as well. Its job is to even out a skin tone, mostly for people who have discolorations. A skin tint...
Absolutely, color correction. That's what it is. And even back in the day, they were just a color correcting tone. Maybe there were skin tones that maybe they leaned more green, purple, yellow, orange. It's literally just, like she said, to even out skin tone.
Typically is either water-based, gel-based, or it could be a serum-based. This one in particular says gel
I love that
tint.
one.
Skin tint is perfect for that person that goes like, oh my god, I don't like wearing foundation. I feel like it's so heavy, like my skin can't breathe. And I like the look of my skin. I just want to even it out a little bit without it wearing me. You massage a skin tint, you should still be able to see your beauty marks underneath as much as
okay, this is so true. So many brands release things like skin tints or like something, and it's just a light foundation. Foundation is still going to give you coverage. Skin tints, exactly like she's saying, should tint the skin so you can still see your skin underneath. It's your skin evened out. You should still be able to see, in quotes, imperfections.
And apply. These are perfect for editorial shoots because we still want to see that skin and that texture. We just want to even out that skin tone and it all looks the same. This doesn't blur out your face. It doesn't give you coverage. And with a skin tint, I never set it with powder. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, I have a playlist called Makeup for Beginners where I break down everything. Love you. And like always, forehead kiss. Bye.
All right. Well, thank you for tagging me in everything. Please do carry on doing so. Please do consider subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you very, very soon.